or the spirit realm founding of the New Age principles, and we also have their earthly counterparts that lay the foundation for what is going on in the New Age movement, what has always gone on in the New Age movement, and what will become of the New Age movement and those that follow it. I'm going to bring out some people. We talked about this in our video called The Prophets of the New Order. If you don't have a copy of that, call or write our ministry and we'll get you a copy of that. And I'm just going to kind of just give a little bit of information today. I'm not going to go much into it. A little bit of information upon some of these founding members of what we now know as the whole New Age movement at large. Some of these people, including Helena Blavatsky, Russian-born. She was in contact with the ascended masters, with what the Bible refers to as devils. The Bible refers to them as something else, and I'll kind of point that out a little bit later on. She wrote a book called Isis Unveiled. Now let me stop here. Let me kind of explain a little bit about who Isis is. Isis is that goddess. She is known by many names. She is called Isis to the Egyptians. She was Ashtaroth, Ishtar, Easter, Venus, Aphrodite. She has been known by many names. The Bible in the book of Acts refers to as, remember in Ephesus there was a temple built in her honor. Only to them she was known as Diana. And the book of Acts says that the whole world worships Diana. And so this female goddess concept has been around since time began. We know that every culture and every civilization in the world has had some sort of goddess or some sort of idea of worshiping a female deity. Almost always, this female deity is sort of like a fertility sex god. And in some of the ancient temples, you might want to just kind of take a guess at how she was worshipped inside of these temples. Okay? I mean, I'm sure you can probably drum up an image very quickly. Okay? But that's who she was. And so, and this Isis Unveiled, I mean, it's a huge volume. And she claims to have written it by inspiration. That she was told or dictated the words that she wrote in this book. And it's all about unveiling Isis or revealing this spirit to the entire world. Let me show you who this spirit really is. Revelation chapter 17 verse 5, the Bible says, "And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth." This is the spirit, the Isis that Blavatsky was going to unveil. And so now we move forward here to the time that we live in now, and we look at the New Age movement. We look at things that are related to it, like Wicca and other things, that where we can see clearly this goddess spirit, this mysterious, secretive, unveiled, cloaked, hidden spirit, and all of the religions that follow her, the mystery religions, including Roman Catholicism, which, you know, they don't call her Isis, they call her, she's the Virgin Mary. That's who they're worshiping. And when you hear a Roman priest talk, I mean, he's all the time talking about, oh, the mystery of the sacrament and the mystery of marriage and the mystery of the Holy Roman Catholic. They're always telling you that everything they do is a mystery. And by the way, don't read and interpret the Bible, because that's really our job. It's a mystery to you. But we have it unveiled to us. That's like the core of mystery religions, secret societies that operate in secret, that say, when we tell you our secret, don't tell anybody else. That is the exact opposite of Bible Christianity. And so we can see that spirit in operation today. And Blavatsky sort of wrote the book on her, educating people, educating leaders, educating people throughout time concerning Isis, whose real name, 13 words, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. Blavatsky was part of a group of people that formed what was called the Theosophy Society. Now that's an interesting word there, because theos means God. And in the Greek here, Sophie, or actually according to Blavatsky herself, her name was Sophia. Sophia was this Greek idea of ultimate wisdom. Sophia is another name for Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. So here we have a religion called Theosophia, Theosophy. They're merged together. It's the god and the goddess together, sort of like Horus and Isis, or Osiris and Isis coming together. That's what Theosophy is all about. And she developed this sort of New Age religion, which has become the foundation of a lot of the things that are going on right now. And she made this symbol for Theosophy. I want you to take a look at this. And you know, I like symbols. I like to look at symbols and I'm going, okay, I got that. Let me just kind of break this down for you here real quickly. We have a crown, and a crown denotes a king. Revelation 9:11. And they had a king over them who was the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name was Abaddon and Apollyon, which means the destroyer. So the king of Theosophy, hence the originator of what we now know as the New Age movement, is none other than the beast that's down in the pit. Revelation chapter 9 is all about releasing them, and this king emerging to take over planet Earth. Read Revelation chapter 13. We have this thing here. It looks like a swastika. Okay, here's a swastika here. What's that? Was she a Nazi? No, she came way before the Nazis. This swastika is actually, some say it's a good luck symbol. The Indians used it. The other Indians used it. The American Indians used it. It goes all the way back to ancient times. And this swastika was called a symbol of life, or a symbol of immortality. What it really represents is the X chromosome, where your DNA is stored. But I want you to notice that it's not just a simple X. It is an X with opposites in it, you know, pointing in different directions. That is the fusion of opposites, sons of God, daughters of men, the angelic realm mingling together with the earthly realm. Remember what New Jerusalem was about. It was the heavenly kingdom coming down to the new earth, joining them together. That's what that is, only it's the occulted form of it. We have the triangle pointing up, the triangle pointing down. Everyone says, oh, that's the Star of David. Does that mean they were Jews? No. It goes way, way, way beyond that. Here again, we see opposites. Sons of God pointing up, daughters of men pointing down, and they are fused together. We have the snake, the Ouroboros. Okay? The snake, think about something in the Bible that has to do with a snake. We have the snake, and his mouth is open, and his tail is inserted into his mouth. And so you read books like Morals and Dogma, you read Manly Hall's The Secret Teachings of All Ages, you read some other things by Blavatsky and others, and you get it. I mean, you understand what this is all about. The tail of the snake, they say the Ouroboros is a symbol of the immortality of man, how man's going to become, you know, a god. Okay, so the Ouroboros, the tail, represents the male. The mouth open represents the female. That's the core of the New Age movement. That's the foundation and the basis of it. This is what Blavatsky devised. Then, I don't even like looking at this guy. This is Aleister Crowley. Aleister Crowley referred to himself as the Beast 666. This guy was, let's see, and as a teenage boy, he had homosexual encounters. This goes back to the 1800s. Teenage boy, homosexual encounters, and he was dreaming, and he was having visitors. Remember Jared Loughner from what we talked about last week? He was having visitors come to him in his dreams, talking to him, giving him enlightenment, illumination. So here he is. He has this funny little, like pyramid hat on his head with the all-seeing eye, draped over his forehead. That's the opening of the pineal gland, the third eye of illumination. Notice his hands, thumbs pointed in opposite directions. He's telling you The Secret Doctrine, which is another book that Blavatsky wrote about. He's telling you the secret doctrine, the secret idea, the fusion together of the opposites. Sons of God, daughters of men. Daniel chapter 2, the fourth kingdom. They that shall mingle themselves with the seed of men. That's what that represents there. And of course, he's got his book that he wrote with this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this pentagram on here. That represents Isaiah chapter 14, verse 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thine heart, number 1, I will ascend into heaven. Number 2, I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. Number 3, I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. Number 4, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. And number 5, I will be like the Most High. He's the opposite of everything that God is, and yet people are going to think that Lucifer is God. And that's what Crowley represents. So is this idea of a New Age movement, and they talk about a Christ consciousness. They talk about Jesus being one of the ascended masters. And according to Crowley, that bothers me. Crowley, this Christ figure with a crown of thorns, he's not the real Jesus. He's another Jesus. That's who Crowley represents, another Jesus. So here we have Blavatsky, ISIS unveiled, the secret doctrine, and Crowley representing another Jesus, and the kingdom of the Antichrist coming in the last days. These are the foundations now of the New Age movement that you and I see all around us today. By the way, Aleister Crowley got in contact with some ascended master or secret guardian of the ages, or whatever you want to call it. And he called him Lam, L-A-M, and this is what Lam looks like. I've seen this guy before. You ever seen these TV shows where they have these gray aliens with these big heads? And that's what that is. The whole New Age movement, the whole UFO cult movement, it all comes from the same demonic source. So Crowley was led not by the 12 angels that come down from heaven, that are representations of the gates around Israel, not by the 12 apostles, but by a devil. That's who was the inspiration for Aleister Crowley. Around the time of Crowley and Blavatsky, you had a woman by the name of Alice Bailey. She had drawn from the work of those two, and she went on to do her own things. Alice Bailey wrote several volumes, and most of which, she says, was given to her by inspiration of this beautiful ascended master named Djwhal Khul. She would receive enlightenment. She would channel this entity to give her light and to tell her the secret plans of what's going to happen. According to the Wikipedia article on her, Alice Bailey wrote that behind all human evolution, now let's stop right here, evolution has to do with man. Let's see, remember the Ouroboros, it's a symbol for man becoming immortal. That's what evolution is. Evolution says, oh, we were all way down here, but now we are ascending upward. That's what evolution is all about. That's why evolution is being taught